The whole video is get over it. Moving on. Most dangerous natural phenomena in the world.
There are some unpredictable and downright dangerous natural phenomena that simply leave us in awe and somewhat terrified. If you're on the ocean and see a disconcerting reddish tint in the water, and perhaps a smell of rotting fish, you might want to get out of the water immediately. There is a phenomenon.
What do you mean? What do you mean? The smell of a tent and a rotten fish? Is that what he said? Oh my god. I mean, I don't know really the smell of a rotten fish, but the sea always smells like the fish. Like, I mean fish, the sea, fish.
Known as red tide, which is an event caused by harmful algae
Ew.
multiplying rapidly, and it's not completely
Oh, the
harmless.
sea looks red. Okay, yeah, well, I'm not getting into a
I've
red
gotten a
sea.
little bit of a cough and a little bit ill while I'm here. I didn't even know red tide existed.
What causes a red tide is basically too much nutrients and sunlight, which might sound like a good thing, but it can make the bad kind of algae go on a growth spurt called blooms. This algae then releases toxins that can mess with sea life, making fish and other critters sick. Some sharks are smart enough to seek refuge from red tide, like these hundreds of sharks that could be seen last year in Florida's canals trying to survive.
Janelle Branower noticed an unusual sight. As she grabbed her phone, she recorded these images and dialed the experts.
And if you were to swim in water affected by red tide, it can irritate your skin and eyes, and sometimes even leads to coughing and wheezing. But well, for some reason, beachgoers seem to ignore all the signs.
A lot of dead fish, a lot of dead, marine animals on the shore.
First day we were here, you could tell it like hit your lungs and your throat and your nose almost immediately, but it's gotten better since then.
Oh yeah, I'm just getting slow. I'm slowly dying either way, you know. But it's getting better. I'm getting used to it.
Even though when we think about volcanoes, we immediately think of those on land, scientists believe that 8 out of 10 volcanic eruptions occur in the ocean. But since most of these volcanoes are thousands of feet deep, they're nearly impossible to find. But that changed when the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration managed to caught on film a submarine volcano eruption, nearly 4,000 feet below the surface of the Pacific Ocean. And it's an incredible sight to see.
Yeah, I know about this one.
Mount St. Helens experienced a dramatic transformation over the years.
Oh my god, look,
that left
it's actually
geologists
moving.
and tourists in awe. Scientists were able to trace back this phenomena to an eruption of 1980, which caused the mountain to blow its lid. And instead of remaining dormant, Mount St. Helens somehow started a process of rebuilding. As magma oozed up, it began to solidify, creating a dome that steadily grew over the years.
Like, usually this type of thing, like, it happens through millions of years that the whole, like, the continents shift and change, and the whole Earth changed its shape. What is now a land might be at the bottom of the sea. What was once a land might erupt again up. Like, you never know. But it's a really long process. However, in this situation, like, you can see it in a speed way throughout a couple of years, like 20, 30 years, right? And that is such a phenomenon. It is scary though. Nothing is stagnant.
Sinkholes can form without much
Oh, I
warning.
hate
One
this.
moment you're on solid ground, and the next you could find yourself plunging into the depths
Like,
below.
is this real anywhere in the world, or just in third world countries that you can just be on asphalt and just one day and one time, like, poof, like you're gone? Like, right now I'm in my house. Like, a hole can appear below it and just devour me. Is that what you're trying to say? So where is mining? You're telling me that it's because of the mining underground. So anywhere where there is mining. How do I know if there is limestone below me? Yeah, I don't wanna walk where there's
And this
limestone.
is particularly
like,
scary since they can be
signs?
incredibly deep, with the deepest sinkhole in the world measuring at 2,172 feet deep. And
Oh
well, what
my
causes
God.
sinkholes is all about water.
Not in Europe?
Basically, sinkholes often form in areas with readily dissolving rock like limestone, where acidic water erodes cavities underground. These cavities grow until the land above can no longer support its weight, causing a sudden or gradual collapse.
Like a...
Picture you're soaking up the sun, toes in the warm sand,
like
and maybe your feet are even dipped in the water and the sky is clear. All of a sudden, the ground starts shaking, and suddenly you notice the water receding much further than usual, revealing the ocean floor like a snake.
If this happens, that's a tsunami. Like, the one thing I learned about tsunami, if you see the water just going away from you, you just run the other way.
Peek behind the scenes. These are all the telltale signs of an incoming tsunami. The speed at which tsunami waves travel seems out of this world. They can zip across the ocean at the speed of a jet plane. Best thing to do if you experience all these symptoms is to not wait around to see what happens next.
Yeah,
instead,
you don't want to see
head inland and try to get to higher ground.
Yeah. Exactly.
Asteroids, which are remains of our solar system's early days, occasionally cross paths with Earth. Unlike the movie depictions, most asteroids are harmless, simply burning up in the atmosphere. However, history tells us that some have left an indelible mark on our planet. Yeah. For example, dinosaurs who once ruled the Earth had their reign ended abruptly due to a colossal...
I mean, the life itself, bacteria itself, started from
asteroid impact. To avoid a similar fate, scientists diligently monitor the skies, keeping a vigilant eye on any space rocks that might come too close. And well, we even have technology now for asteroid deflection.
Oh, yeah, I heard about this. I don't know if this is exactly the same thing. I don't know if this was made by Elon Musk or whatnot, but they literally, it's like a spaceship or something that goes towards it and hits it with an impact that it makes it shift its rotation. And the thing about asteroids, I heard that there is one literally going towards us. That if it gets too close, the Earth's gravitation will pull it, and then we're screwed. And it's really a big one. So I don't know which year though, but yeah.
This is real footage by NASA of DART spacecraft's first ever mission of intentionally colliding with an asteroid.
Yeah, it's the
This was a successful test.
It's NASA though.
And the asteroid indeed changed its motion in space. Sometimes hurricanes happen in the ocean, bringing with them not just ferocious wind and rain, but also a menacing wall of water. This is called a stormy surge, which is seawater getting pushed ashore by the force of hurricanes' wind. Thankfully, meteorological agencies such as the NHC are quick to identify and closely monitor developing hurricanes and issue warnings well before the arrival of tropical storm force winds.
Storm surge is water from the ocean that is pushed
How are these guys just chilling there? Like, I don't understand. Why are these people with their dogs? They are just strolling. Like, what is happening?
The shore by the force of the winds swirling around the hurricane. This advancing surge combines with the normal tides and can increase the water level by 30 feet or more.
Florida, man. No, they don't. They're not scared.
Earthquakes are generally not random events that happen out of nowhere. Sometimes the exact magnitude and timing can be a challenging task to forecast, resulting in unexpected moments, such as the 7.1 magnitude earthquake in Southern California that caught CBS broadcasters by surprise.
It continues
this is a very strong earthquake.
Pretty strong here.
8:21 here on the air. We're experiencing very strong shaking. Wow. I think we need to get under the desk.
All right, we're going to go to break. We'll be right back after this. Wow.
The causes of earthquakes are all about the Earth's tectonic plates. Earthquakes unleash built-up tension when Earth's tectonic plates suddenly snap past each other, like shaking off tangled puzzle pieces. If you find yourself in the midst of an earthquake, the best thing to do is stay indoors and take cover under a sturdy piece of furniture. Square waves are a mind-bending phenomenon in the open ocean that can turn a peaceful day at sea into a sailor's nightmare. These happen when winds blowing from different directions and opposite ocean currents meet, creating a chaotic mix that results in square waves. Unlike regular waves that boats can ride smoothly, square waves can make a vessel pitch and roll in unpredictable ways. So if you ever see them at open sea, go the opposite direction. Stars generate light and heat through nuclear fusion in their core. This process releases a lot of energy and balances the inward pull of gravity, keeping the star stable. Over time, stars exhaust their fuel, primarily hydrogen, and fusion slows down. This weakens the outward pressure, allowing gravity to take over and the star explodes. But when the star is big enough, gravity can't do its thing, and it creates a black hole.
They're black holes that are formed at the consequence of the death of stars. Stars born with this much mass, and it'll lose a certain amount of mass over its life. All stars lose mass because there's so much pressure.
I mean,
and so
our sun will become a black hole eventually when it explodes, right?
much energy coming out. It carries particles with it. So they lose so much pressure
Oh my God.
and so much energy coming out, it carries
Wait, some of you are
particles
saying
with
no,
it.
some of you are
So
saying
they
yes.
lose mass.
So, not our sun? No, we're too small? Not enough mass? How about the Milky Way? Could the whole Milky Way become a black hole?
They remain stars for 100,000, at most a million years, and they'll explode and become a supernova. If you're more massive than that, they will not explode because the gravity is so strong that it cannot explode against the strength of the gravity, and it collapses into a black hole.
And black holes are very interesting.
Oh, so our sun is actually gonna explode. But if it was any bigger, from the mass, it would not explode. It would just become a black hole, where it even devours light. That's crazy,
With recent
man.
findings showing that when a star wanders too close to a black hole, they can be shredded by it.
Yep.
This is not a quick process. The video shown is a rendering posted by NASA of a massive black hole shredding a passing star, an event that took 200 days to happen. Thankfully, no black hole is close enough to be a danger to us, and not even the sun is massive enough to explode to form a black hole. But as if black holes couldn't get even more terrifying, NASA made astronomical data into sound to replicate what black holes sound like.
Oh my, this is like when you're like really in slow-mo. Like, you know, back in the day, these cassettes and stuff, and you put them in slow-mo, even a video now on YouTube, and you make it so slow. Like, it is really scary.
As our planet cruises through the vastness of space, it occasionally encounters what we can call cosmic litter, which are tiny particle remnants of a passing comet. These particles are no longer than a grain of sand, and ignite in a blaze of glory, creating the streaks of light we call meteors or shooting star.
Shooting star. Which something you just saw one shooting star?
Blizzards are not just a regular snowstorm, but are defined as a storm containing large amounts of snow, or blowing snow with winds higher than 35 miles per hour, and visibility of less than a quarter mile for at least 3 hours. There are 5 categories of a blizzard: extreme, crippling, major, significant, and notable. An example of an extreme blizzard is the Great Blizzard of 1888, in which an ordinary winter day transformed into a relentless winter onslaught like never seen before. New York City in particular found itself in the worst part of this formidable storm. Snow drifts reached unheard-of heights, burying entire buildings and blocking streets. The aftermath was brutal, with people being confined to their homes for a week, and railway and telegraph lines came to a halt. Even emergency services were affected during this blizzard. Thankfully, since then, there haven't been any deadlier blizzards in the United States, and let's hope that's as close.
Oh my God, something like this, if something like this would happen, it would be really deadly. I think this is Photoshop. I don't think this ever happened. But I feel like what saves us today is the fact that we have like really tall buildings.
We'll get to another ice age. Pink lakes, often found in various corners of the globe, are a testament of the incredible diversity and uniqueness of our planet. But what exactly causes these lakes to take on such a surreal hue? And well, the answer is bacteria and algae. These produce pigments like chlorophyll that contribute to the rosy coloration of the body.
Oh my God, I literally hate it. I hate it so much. When I go to the sea and I'm walking to get inside the water, I'm trying my best to get as least steps as possible and to like literally stand on rocks that are not even slimy. But whenever I put my feet on something like slimy like this, or I'm swimming and these long leaves or whatever starts touching my feet, I'm out. I can't. I hate it. Oh my God, I hate it.
Water. One of the most famous pink lakes is Lake
I should
Hillier
start
in Australia,
swimming with
which is just as salty as the Dead Sea, making it extremely easy to float in. Sadly, you can only see the lake from a plane or helicopter since it's not open to the public.
So disgusting. I don't know how people just like don't care. Like I look at people around me, I'm like literally tiptoeing, like I'm looking like someone who never was in the sea before. And others are like just no care, like at all. That was such a good video, by the way. I learned a lot of things, and I love science. I love documentaries. I love history. I love learning, and this was a fun video to watch. Like it's not only educational, but it's really fun and short. Yeah, to the point. So thank you for sharing.
You were a summer and after